So good evening, everyone. I think my screen is visible, right? Someone please give me a feedback. Okay. So for today's session, basically what I am planning is like to explain the code whatever we had written in the last class. Like last class we had written lots and lots of code, and mostly I had kept the explanations minimum, right? So why I did that was like to give you guys some space to think by yourself, because see, basically in Android development, uh, if it's a instructor led training or something, maximum what we people will be able to do is like give you some 5% information or something like that. Okay, it's actually a very vast sea. So the thing is like you need to explore on your own to gain most out of it. Okay, so today what we will be doing is like today I will be starting with explaining the code what we wrote in the previous class. Okay, I will start from the scratch. I will be explaining the entire code what we had completed in the previous class. Afterwards, if required, we will be having a discussion also, because I was getting loads and loads of messages from many of you people regarding errors and everything. So such a discussion also can be done. And afterwards, we will also complete the UI of this app. As you know, yesterday we had completed two parts out of these three. That is, top bar we had completed, and this bottom bar also we had completed, but the content, it was yet to get complete. Okay, here some error and everything was there, that also we will try to fix. Okay, plus one more new thing we will be doing today, that is our application as of now it is having only one particular screen, even though in the actual app there should be two screens. Why? Because here you can directly see like home, one button is there. Apart from that, settings, one more button is there. So obviously there should be two screens. Okay, so this content whatever we are building, as of now that is a content for the home screen alone. Apart from that, we will be building content for the settings screen also, like multiple screens, two screens minimum we will be building, so that I will try to explain about how buttons are going to work, how we will be able to navigate between the screens and things like that also. Okay, so we will move forward. Today is a Saturday, that's why I think only very few people have joined. Anyway, we will go forward with our actual plan itself. So let me start with this thing first. So hopefully, at least like based on the messages what I used to get, at least 50% of the class who attended the class yesterday, they had attempted some part of the coding by their own, which is a very great thing, I should say. And of course, you might have got lots and lots of errors. That also has to happen. Why? Because you are doing this for the very first time, and handling errors by yourself, basically, that is something that you have to get used to on course of time. Okay, so whenever you are showing me errors, I am directly able to suggest what is to be done in order to correct errors at that instant of time, just because I have got this experience of seeing errors. Just like you people are seeing this for the very first time, I'm seeing these things for a very long time. That's why I'm able to tell you what is a source of the error, how to correct it, things like that. Okay, so on course of time, if you are practicing this on your own, of course you will be able to build that practice. So don't get disappointed, don't worry on this thing. It will take some time, that's all. Okay, so first of all, the main activity file, as you already know, this is something that Android Studio created for us. And what we did over here is just one thing. We actually called this particular function. That is this greeting function we just called. Okay. And this greeting function, it was not present inside this file. Okay. But instead, where was it written? Where was this greeting function written? Earlier it was present and towards the bottom of this file, but I cut pasted it somewhere else, right? Where is the greeting function now, as of now? Anyone?
It is a different in a file in itself.
Yes, 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 exactly. That is, we had created a new file that is inside the UI folder. I had created a new file that is myresumeapp.kt. Inside that only those files, those functions we had actually copy pasted. There was two functions basically. One was this greeting function. Sorry, I will just enlarge it a bit. So one was this greeting function, and apart from that, one more function was there, which was this greeting preview function also. Can anyone tell me what was the use of this greeting preview function? This one? Anyone? Okay. See, this greeting preview function, this function was responsible for showing us this preview. So if I'm deleting this thing, you can see like automatically it will just close on itself. Like I will not be able to see any preview. So if at all I need to get a preview, such a function is necessary. It was also directly written by Android Studio itself. I didn't make much of changes over there. But yes, such a function was also present. Now what I am going to do is one by one, we are going to see what all things we had done in the previous class. Okay, just sort of a revision. After we do this, I will start with the and also one more additional thing. I will just maybe clean the code also. As of now, the code it is not like we worked with a template. No, we started with a template. So due to that, the code is not matching each and everywhere. So I will just show you some options that is provided by Android Studio in order to make sure that we will be able to clean our code and to keep a better kind of code base. Okay. So first of all, the name of this function itself, greeting, it should not be the name of our function, right? So we are building something else now. We are not building a greeting app or something like that. Instead, we are building we are building a resume app, right? So this greeting function itself, I can rename it. I need not have it as greeting. It doesn't make any sense. Greeting was a function that was directly written by Android Studio. We started with editing this thing. That's why its name was greeting itself, because Android Studio created it for us. Whenever it is going to create it for us, it is going to give that name only, greeting. So I can directly edit this thing. But there is a problem here. Say greeting, I am just editing it to my resume. Okay, but there is a problem over here. Can anyone tell me why this error came when I edited that function name from greeting to my resume? It is showing an error. Can anyone tell me why an error is shown? Yes, anyone? This is a function call only. Yes, yes, correct. Import, we cannot actually import this function also, because earlier what we had done was like this greeting function, it was already written somewhere else. In this file, greeting function was present. Okay. So this function was actually imported over here. Here you can see that function was actually imported so that we could directly call that particular function. So if I am just renaming it to my resume or something, what is going to happen means we cannot even import this thing. Why? Because there is no my resume function anywhere. This function name is greeting. This one is main content, then bottom content, then greeting preview, things like that. Okay, I don't have any function named my resume. So due to that, what I have to do is I need to edit the name of this thing, greeting over here. Along with that, I have to edit the name of this one also. Then only it is going to match, right? So either I can do it in an easy manner, like separately I can edit this thing, but Android Studio provides us with an option known as refactor. That is, if you are just selecting this thing, right clicking over there, and if you are going to refactor, here inside this refactor option, several other options will be there. And along with that, the very first option is rename. So you can select that rename, and you can see like automatically it got selected. You can just delete this thing. Now I can just rename it to my resume. Can you see over there? Like everything is getting changed together. Resume. See, the import statement got changed. My function's call name got changed. And even inside this thing, no? Inside the other file, the file name was actually greeting. Even that got changed. So this is how we will be able to edit like linked functions together in Android Studio. Okay. So the menu, whenever you are doing so, what you have to do is you just need to select whatever you need to edit. Right click, go to refactor, then select rename. So over there you can give any name. I will just show you for one more time. My resume. Okay. So likewise, I will just give. I will hit on enter. It got renamed here. It got renamed in the import statement, and even it got renamed in the actual function definition. Okay. This is how we can do that. Now another thing. So here anyway, this much it's all fine now. Now another thing, this Vishnu Rajan, I need not give Vishnu Rajan over here. This Vishnu Rajan I gave just because in order to teach you, just to show my name in this application, right? So I can delete that one, right? So this thing I can just delete, but it is going to show me some error. Why? Because when the function is actually declared, there some it is expecting a parameter of type string. So can anyone tell me how I can get rid of this error? What I need to delete from this function definition in order to get rid of that particular error? Anyone? Removing the, yes, exactly. This thing, no, this thing I can just avoid. This thing fully I can just delete, and you can see like the error got disappeared. That's it. It's a very easy kind of thing. This I had already told you, like whenever we had studied about parameters and everything in last class, like initial 10 minutes or something at that time, right? So that error is fixed anyway. So now our function is appearing a bit more like interesting to us. Like it is actually, it has got we renamed that to my resume, and here also my resume is there. Okay. Now one more additional thing. Yeah. Here another error has come because in the preview function, no, there also this my resume was called. So this thing also I can just safely delete because parameters are not there. We can just delete that thing. Then again, this greeting preview also, this thing directly, I can actually rename it. Here also I can rename it. I can just rename it to my resume preview, and it is going to work same like that. Okay. Now coming back to other things. So what was this scaffold? Like there was something known as scaffold, right? Scaffold, it was like a layout that we can use, a built-in function that we can use in order to define elements of an Android application. So here we can see, we using this scaffold function, I had basically created three parts of this Android application. That is, utilizing this, I had created the top portion, this one, that is the top up bar. Then the bottom portion, this one, that is the bottom up bar, and also this center portion, which is actually the content. Okay. Now, one by one, I will just explain to you what are the main things that I had done whenever I wrote this code and everything. Okay. So first of all, I will start with the top bar. This was the thing. Sorry. This was the thing that we started with yesterday. Okay. So first of all, the top bar. So in order to call the top bar, first we had actually created a function. Okay. We can see it over here. The function name was top content. This was the function name. Okay. So whenever we are defining a function name, like a function for creating other kind of composables, always we need to give this composable annotation on top of it. Then only it is going to work. Okay. And inside this, I just used an inbuilt composable by the name top up bar. And inside that, this title parameter I give. So how I was able to give this title parameter, it's a very easy thing. What I did here was, first of all, I just hovered by mouse pointer above this thing. I just saw all the parameters, what all things are supported by this one. And here, directly it is telling title is supported. And again, it is also writing, it is also showing to us title parameter is of a type of a composable. Okay, listen this point very, very carefully. It is showing to me title parameter, it is a type of composable. So due to that, in order to create a title, what I have to do is, after giving the title, like the parameter name, I need to put curly braces. That is mandatory. Now listen, everywhere I had used curly braces yesterday, but I hadn't explained each and everything regarding the curly braces, why I use the parenthesis, things like that. So likewise things only I am explaining here. Okay. So why I used curly braces here was just because when I hovered over this thing near to title, I'm seeing the word composable. Okay, composable. This is looking just like this, composable, just like a function. Okay, so due to that only, whenever I am giving this title parameter, I need to put curly braces. Otherwise, it is going to show me some errors. See, it is showing me some error. Okay, now inside this title, like the curly braces only, I have to define other things. Okay, can anyone tell me how I will be able to give a text, say the name of the app, how I will be able to define the name of the app as my resume, what I have to type in inside this curly braces? Anyone? Yes, yes. No, title we have already typed in. No, title we have already typed in. But in order to give this right, yes, exactly. Text we need to type in. So text, I need to type in capital letter TXT. So whenever I am typing in that thing, it will be showing me a drop down. From this drop down, multiple things are there, right? So out of this, what I have to select is, as I am going to select something related to the UI, you need to look for this composable icon. Okay, here you can see, yesterday I showed you one hexagon shaped icon, no? That hexagon shaped icons are actually denoting composables. Composables are, Jetpack Compose is having lots and lots of composables which will be used in order to create this UI elements. So this one is a composable, this one is another composable, this one is not a composable. This one is a composable, this one also is a composable, this one is also a composable, likewise up to this much only. Okay, remaining things are not composables. So we need to just check, we need to just select composables alone. Now, whenever we are seeing the text composables among these list, first one, that is a text composable, second one is also a text composable, but the third one we can avoid because that itself, icon itself is not for a composable. What about the fourth one? It is, yes, it's a composable, but it is not a text composable. It is text field, something else. Again, text field, something else. Text button, something else. So we need to select either the first one or the second one. Correct? We need to select either the first one or the second one. Now, for the first one, if I am seeing the second half of this, it is showing me the list of parameters also. Right? It is showing me the list of parameters also. So over here, we can see the parameter, first parameter, whatever is shown over there is text. And afterwards, it is showing me string. That is the basic thing, right? But coming to the next thing, text is shown, afterwards annotated string, something else is shown that I don't know as of now. So I will obviously select the very first thing only. Okay. And afterwards, the parameter I will type, text I will type. And here I need not give any curly braces. Why? Because if I am hovering over text, what I can see over here is, see, inside this, that composable kind of thing, it is not shown. Okay. If it is showing composable, then only curly braces I will be giving. Here, composable is not shown. Okay. It is just showing me annotated string or something like that only. It is just showing to me. So what is expected is I need to give a string directly. That's it. Nothing else have to be given. So I can just give my resume. Okay, and it directly came over here. Hope this much is clear. If this one is clear, just give me a thumbs up. We will just move forward. Good. Okay. Fine. Great. So that was regarding this. That was regarding segregating between normal type of parameters and also composable type of parameters. Okay. Now we will just see this example for other things also. Okay. So that this part will be much more be clear. Okay. What about this top bar here? Already I have used this one, no? Yes. Here already we had used this one, the curly braces. Why? Because if I am hovering over top up bar, I can see for title it is showing at the rate of composable. That's why I had put it in curly braces. Okay. Say another thing also we can see over here. So this part is over anyway. Top content is over. So I will directly go to the bottom content. So where was it? Bottom content. Yeah. Bottom content, it is here only. So again, for bottom content, I started with this one, bottom up bar. And in the bottom up bar, what I had done was like, first of all, few parameters I had taken. That is here, several parameters were there, out of which the container color and also the content color I had taken. Why? Because container color was necessary to give this blue color, background color. Background color was this container color. Okay. And let me see whether curly braces is required or not. See, whenever we are seeing container color, composable is not written here. Correct? Composable is not written here. If composable is not written there in yellow color, then curly braces is not required at all. But there is something in which actually this composable is written. See, over here, for content, composable is written. Okay, so if we are using the content parameter, of course, we need to give curly braces. Let us see whether we have used it. Yes. So content parameter was defined over here, and see all this thing I had actually given inside this curly braces only. Hope it is clear. Okay. Now moving forward, this container color, how I was able to give the colors and everything. Colors we can give in basically in two ways. In the simplest way possible, two ways are there in which we will be able to allot the colors. First one is using built-in colors. For using built-in colors, we can just type in color. Afterwards, we can put a dot. Then Android Studio will be showing all these built-in colors. Here we can see like white, red, black, blue, likewise several colors are shown. So if you are maybe selecting maybe green color, then obviously that color will be coming over here. That's it. Okay, our selected color was white only. So I will just retain that to white itself. There is one more way. The second way of doing this thing is, again, we'll be typing in color itself, but instead of putting the dot, I'll be putting parenthesis. And inside the parenthesis, I will just give any three numbers. Let it be any three numbers. Okay. So whenever you are selecting those numbers, here the color picker will be shown. You just need to click on the color picker. And from this list, you can use any of these anyway. From this list, I will be selecting one color. Yesterday's color was this one, I believe. So again, I selected that color itself. Okay, this is how I had given the colors and everything. Now coming to the content. Content is having this curly braces. Let me just check again whether that curly braces was required. Yes. For the content parameter, composable is written. So due to that, we have to give this curly braces. And if at all we are using curly braces, then inside those curly braces, we can define other composables. Other composables like text is a composable. We can give a text inside this one. Then row is a composable, column is a composable, icon is a composable, image is a composable, button is a composable. Likewise, lots and lots of composables are there. Composables are simply known as UI elements. Okay, any of these composables we will be able to use. Okay, and yesterday I had told you like here two buttons I had to place. So two buttons, if I need to place, I need to create a row. Okay, first of all, I need to create a row, and inside the row, to you are getting an error while using modifier. Okay, can you specify the line of code in this one? In which part? Line number 72 in this one. Yeah, modifier dot fill max width. This portion only, no? Okay. Probably the import statement may be incorrect. I'm just typing it one more time. Modifier. Whenever we are typing in modifier, here lots and lots of modifiers will be shown. We have to go for the very first one. Here we can see in brackets androidx.compose.ui. I already told you here everywhere we'll be using composables, or we are actually using Jetpack compose over here. Okay, so due to that, what we have to do is like this everywhere we need to either look for this compose icon, or we need to check for this compose text or something like that. So here in this list we can see like three modifiers are coming. One is compose, related to compose. Second one is related to Java. Third one again related to Java. I will select the very first one, and afterwards I'll be putting in a dot, and afterwards I'll be typing fill max width. Can you try that from your side also? And also I will just show you the import statement also. Here for the modifier, see, this one is the import statement for the modifier. Can you just check that from your side also? If you are selecting this import statement, just typing modifier in capital letters. Afterwards, probably the very first one you have to select. When you select that, this thing, obviously this thing will be imported. If this one is imported, then you will be able to complete the remaining thing, like modifier dot fill max width. I think this was a modifier dot fill max width. You have to select. Just try that, whether it is working fine or not. Oh, today the number of students are very, very less. Seems as if it is a Saturday, everyone has gone for some other activities. Okay, fine. So normally, whenever we are like importing things, whenever this drop down and everything is coming, no, what we have to do is, again, I'm repeating that one more time for everyone. Just make sure that whenever you are typing in this thing, you are selecting the correct thing out of this drop down. Okay. See, if we are selecting some other things, for example, if I am selecting the second thing out of this thing, then of course the other things are not going to work. Why? Because those are related to some other thing, for example Java or something like that only. Because Android Studio, it is not just limited to Jetpack Compose alone. It will also work with many other languages like Java, normal XML, things like that. Okay, so yes, actually I was telling about this bottom content area only. Yes. So yes, we started with the row. Correct. We started with the row, and for the row, I had to ensure that this row will be taking up the maximum width. So for that, we have to use something known as a modifier. These modifiers are common for all these elements. So if I'm able to use this modifier dot fill max width in a row, I'll be able to use the same line of code in a column also. Here also I'll be able to use the same line of code. In icon also I'll be able to use the same line of code, because modifiers are not limited to a single type of composable. It will be there for all these composables. It is common for all of these composables. Okay. So here, first of all, I had made this row fit in the entire available width. Okay. Afterwards, what I had done over here is like the arrangement of the composables inside this thing, like horizontally as well as vertically. I had actually are made it to like be centrally arranged. So for that, horizontal arrangement parameter as well as the vertical alignment parameter I had used. Okay, all these are parameters from this list only, whatever is shown over here. Modifier parameter I had used, horizontal arrangement I had used, vertical alignment also I had used. Okay, just see, in all of these parameters, composable is not at all present. Correct? Yellow colored composable, it is not shown. But it is, yes, it is but shown in another thing, that is this content. So whenever you are defining the content, we have to give curly braces. Then only we will be able to include all the other composables inside this content. Okay. So inside the row, we rightly included 2 columns, one for hosting both of these buttons. Okay. Up to this much, is it clear? Then shall we move forward and type in some new code then? Yes. Okay. Great. So yesterday we had some error, right? So first of all, I am going to fix this error, and afterwards I will be building the remaining UI. Okay. So first, let me just see what is this error. For knowing what is error, I need to hover over this the place where that error is shown. Here, what is shown over here is content padding parameter is not used. Content padding parameter is not used. Content lambda, if this parameter is okay, it's moreover like a warning only, not an error, because here it is written provide feedback on this warning and everything. Okay, anyway, we will just fix this thing. For that, let me just type in content padding, right? What is that? Content padding, no, then padding values will be there. One second. Yeah, padding values. Okay, one second. Let me just fix this thing. Afterwards, I will explain how I had fixed that thing. Okay. Now listen, what I had done over here was like, here anyway, whatever the error was showing was like, the content padding was not used. Okay. So what I had essentially done over here was like, first of all, I defined a parameter inside this function. This is not something that you do regularly. Till date, we haven't done this because you people usually define functions like this. Fun, then afterwards, function name you will be giving maybe my function or something. And afterwards, you will be putting this parenthesis, then the curly braces, and the sorry, this one will be a small letter for you. And here inside this thing, you will be giving maybe name and afterwards string. This is how generally we define the parameters, okay, or the arguments to be given to this function will be defined like this. Okay, this is how we will be able to do that. But here, what we are having is this type of thing, no, this curly braces, simply this curly braces. This as it is known as a lambda expression. It is basically a kind of function only, I should say. Basically a type of function. Okay. But its appearance is not like this, right? It's an anonymous kind of function. Why I am calling it as anonymous means, see, when comparing this part and when comparing this part, right? In both these parts, one thing is common. Can anyone tell me what is common? See, when you are comparing this part and when you are comparing this part, I told you this one is also a function. This one is also a function. Can anyone tell me what is common in the code of this part as well as this part? Anyone? Just see the code, what is common. Some element is common over there. Can anyone tell me that? This one as well as this one. Okay, just let me just tell that for you. See here, what is common is like this curly braces. That's it, right? Nothing else is there common. Here curly braces is it is there here also, and it is happening here also, right? Curly braces is there. That's it. But nothing else is coming. Okay. So what is missing basically? the function's name itself is missing. So that's why I called this one is an anonymous function, a function without any name. Like whenever you are using Instagram, Facebook or something, in that you can make anonymous comments and everything, no? Anonymous posts in groups and everything you can do without a name. So something like that only it is happening over here. So this one is also a function, but without a function name. So in this case also, I'll be able to define a parameter. Here the error was like content padding parameter is not used. Okay, that means that parameter is there. Okay, that parameter is there, but as it is not used means I'm not using that, or I'm not calling that inside this main content or something like that. Okay, that is error over here. So in order to do that, what I can do is like here the name of this thing is content padding parameter, right? So I will just typing content padding itself. Okay, simply I can just type in content padding. Afterwards, I'll be putting this particular arrow mark kind of symbol. Okay. Afterwards, this content padding can be given inside this main content. So if at all I need to give that inside this main content, the main content function should be having some values that is to be taken. So that's why I gave in padding values over here. And afterwards, I just passed content padding as the value of this particular function. That is how it was actually done. Okay. Now, yet another thing is like here we have got all of these values. Now, what is pending over here is I need to fix the yes, yeah. Here this thing can be given over here also. Padding I can give it over here. Padding values. Oh, it's too much. And it's fixed, but it is too much. Where was it? Where was I doing it? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So as of now, I got the padding values from there. So now what I need to do is like that padding values, I need to give it to my particular row, because this entire content area, no, this I have defined that inside a row composable only. So I need to give the padding values to the row composable. So if I'm seeing the row composables, this parameters, I cannot see a parameter by the name padding. I cannot see a parameter by the name padding. Okay. So if at all you cannot see any parameter that is intended to be seen, in that case, usually what you do is like you will be getting help of the modifier. Okay. So here inside row, there is no parameters known as padding. So due to that, what I had done over here was to the modifier parameter, I use this dot operator, and afterwards I just checked whether padding kind of thing is there or not. Yes, padding kind of thing is there. Here we can see padding kind of thing is there. And to that padding, I just gave this padding values as the value. Okay, so now you can see like everything is fixed. Your the image is also coming properly, text is also coming properly, and image I think some more height I will give to this image. As of now, it is not visible that much. I will just delete this height. Oh, it is taking up the entire height. Oh, here I had given some fill max width thing. So I will just delete that. See, everything is working very, very properly. Now, one more thing I can do over here. I will just limit this height of this thing. So here, as of now, the height is very, very big. So due to that, again, to limit the height also, to limit the height of this row also, I will just see in the row parameter list. Anything known as height is there? No, nothing is there. Nothing is there with the name height. So in that case, what I can do, which parameter I need to utilize? As here inside the row, there is no parameter known as height. In that, which default parameter I have to utilize in order to adjust the height? Anyone? See, as I told you before, no, we can just utilize the modifier parameter itself. So what I will do is, for this modifier parameter, one more dot I will be putting, and I will be using height for this one, and I will be limiting the height to 300 dp or something like that. Let me see how much height is going to be. Okay, 300 dp is too much, so I will limit that to 200 dp. 200 dp is also a bit more on the higher side. Maybe what about 150 dp? 150 will be fine. Yes, 150 dp is fine. And one more thing I will do for this row, no, I will make sure that it is actually aligned properly in both the directions. So same like I did earlier, I'll define this horizontal and vertical alignment thing. Okay. So now everything is aligned very properly. Now the picture is, we need to make the picture round, right? Usually whenever we are seeing LinkedIn profiles, your Instagram, everywhere things are quite round here, but the picture, it should not be appearing like this. Let me make this picture also circular in shape. Crop, I can just crop this thing in circular shape. So for that, this picture, it was actually defined over here only for this image composable only. So is there something in the image composable where I can clip this thing or cut this thing, crop this thing? No. Among the parameters, nothing is there. So if nothing is there, I will go for the modifier parameter. So here I can put a dot. I'll just type crop. No, crop is not coming. What about clip? Yes, clip is coming. And inside clip, I can give the shape. Shape. How I understood what should be the parameter name, I will hover over this thing and we can see like shape has to be given. See, I can give circular shape, right? Circular, yeah, circle shape. Circle shape. Is it cropped? Yeah, it is cropped, but I cannot see it. No, I can fix a border also to this thing. Border parameter is there. No, border parameter is also not present. So I will just type in border here. Yeah, border is coming here. Border width, things like that. Width of the border can be maybe 3 dp or something. Then width have to, what all things have to be there? Width have to be there. Color have to be there. Color can be light gray color. No? Color dot light gray. Okay. Then shape also. Here we are cropping in circle shape. So due to that shape also I can just see how I am understanding what all parameters are to be taken. No, it is showing me this thing directly. From that only I am able to see this thing. Width have to be given. I gave the width. Color has to be given. I gave the color. Then it is asking me for shape. Shape has to be given. So due to that I am just giving the shape. Circle shape only I gave earlier. So here also I'll be giving the circle shape. See, it is now appearing nice. It is looking better now. I think I will increase this thing to 4 dp. Much more, it may be much more better. And also I will give a padding for this one. Padding means nothing but something like a margin, some extra space outside this thing. So for margin, I can give some 10 dp or something, right? Oh, margin, I should not be giving margin there, it seems, because it is going outside. So I will give margin inside this row itself. Inside the row itself, I will give some additional padding. I will give some padding in the horizontal direction because I need some space here as well as here. So horizontally, I will give some margin of maybe 10 dp. See, it is going inside. What about 14 dp or something? Okay. Now it is looking better, 12 dp. We will make it at 12 dp. Okay. Now it is looking much better. And one more additional thing also I'll do. This text, right? This text is actually not, it is very much close to this image. So due to that, this text also, I will just move it a bit to the other side. So before that, this is not the only text that I have to give, right? Whenever you are creating a resume, in a resume, you will be having your, what all things you will be putting in a resume normally? Like your name will be there. And under the name, you will be putting your address and everything, right? So maybe I will put multiple things one by one under these things. Okay. Yesterday I told you, no, if I need to put things like in a vertical manner, one by one, arranging things in a vertical manner, I usually use a row for that purpose. But if I need to put things like this, one below another, okay, likewise, if I need to put things one below another, what composable I will be able to use? Do you remember? Yesterday we had used some composable over here. In order to put one icon over here and below that in order to put this text. Do you remember the name of that composable? Anyone? No? Okay. See, we will just use a column composable for that particular purpose. So over here, what I can do is like I will just create a column. Okay, and inside the column composable, no, I'll just put this text inside the column composable. Why that error came was just because this modifier, no, I had to paste it over here in order to get rid of that problem. Okay. Now one more thing I will just give, I will give some padding also. Padding in the horizontal direction I will give maybe 10 dp. 10 dp will be more than enough. Okay. And also I will give the font size, slightly larger font size, maybe 18 sp or something. This one I have to import. 18 is too less. 24 sp. And font weight also I will include. Font weight can be something like font weight dot maybe black I will select. Oh, bold. I can make it bold. Okay, great. Now under this text, no, I can include multiple texts. Like I can include other text like a text for. Usually, you people will be writing other things, no, like maybe your uh, uh, maybe you are a fourth year student, final year student. Then I can just write down uh, IIT BHU because many people are from IIT BHU. It seems IIT BHU. Where is IIT BHU? Varanasi. IIT BHU Varanasi. Maybe. Yeah. So this is how we'll be able to define all these things. And apart from that, I can also give one more website also I can give, right? Maybe www.o. Ben, ben, in. Okay. Yes, part of the UA is complete. Now, additionally, what I will be doing now is I'll be I'll be utilizing, like I'll be making a scrollable list under this particular thing. So as of now, just your basic information is present. And underneath this thing, I need loads and loads of information. Okay, that is maybe your achievements. One by one, we are going to highlight your achievements. So for that, what we can do is like maybe I can create a list of achievements first. So for as a variable, I can define this thing. So for that, maybe I will type val list of of achievements. Then I will type like list of. Then the achievements I will just type in one by one, right? Maybe uh, first rank holder, second year. Then uh, maybe the next achievement can be like hmm, class top, class topper, third year. Okay, so that's it. So I will just copy paste this thing so that I am having so many list of achievements. Okay. So I'm having a list of achievements. So I need to display this list of achievements on the screen as a scrollable kind of list. Earlier, before Jetpack Compose, this was a huge task. Before Jetpack Compose, it was very hard to do this thing. But as we are using Jetpack Compose now, one second. Sorry. So as we are using Jetpack Compose now, it is very, very easy to do this. So what we have to do is like we can get help from one tool known as one composable known as lazy column. So what I'm going to do over here is see inside this row part anyway that is over, right? Yeah, row part is over. Okay, so row part was over. So under the row, maybe I will create another thing, maybe like lazy column. Okay, and inside this lazy column, no, this lazy column, I will try to make this lazy column uh, modifier dot fill max. Okay, now under this lazy column, no, I will just inside this lazy column, I will just create one items, a list of items I need to create. So due to that, I'll just use this function, items function, and sorry, found and item. Okay. So inside this, I had to give items list. Okay. So inside this, I will give the list of items. What was the list of items? I think I named it list of items, list of achievements. Yes, yes. List of achievements itself, I had named it. And now inside this, one by one, all these achievements I will be able to fetch. So for fetching that, same like I did before, no? I can create another parameter inside this one, inside this anonymous function named achievement itself. And inside this thing, I can create maybe a text composable. And here I will give text itself. And here I will give achievement. Okay, it came, but it is getting overlapped with the previous thing. Okay, so what happened was like here there was a row. Oh, sorry, here there was a row, and just below that row, I just made this thing. So both are actually overlapping. So to avoid this thing, I can create a column over here so that both can be arranged one below the other. So I can create a column, and inside this particular column, no, I can put both of these row as well as the lazy column. Yes, now it is coming correctly. But I think one more problem is there. What is the problem here? Here some extra space is coming. Okay, extra space is why? Because that is because of this row. Row's height was defined as column, lazy column. Yes, that is this row itself. So height, if I am making as okay, not that row. Okay, let me just try another thing. Here padding is given. Here padding. Here additional padding was given for this one. So I need to cut this thing and I have to paste it inside this one. Now everything is coming very properly. So here we can see that most of the things we had actually completed. Everything is coming mostly properly only. Can anyone tell me how I will be able to move this thing? This one is very close to the border, right? So now to move this thing, this is anyway, all this text, it is actually defined inside this lazy column only. By changing something over here, some parameter over this lazy column, by adding some parameter inside this lazy column, I may have to push, I will be able to push this thing a bit from the screen's edge. As of now, it is very much to the screen's edge. Can anyone tell me what parameter I will be able to use? Any idea? We had used similar parameters before also with other composables. So the padding parameter, we can use it over here. So I will just use padding over here, and some 10 dp padding I will just give. Only in the horizontal direction I need. So I can increase that padding. I think 20 is not an issue. Yeah. Yes. Now, yeah. Now everything came very properly. Everything is working very properly also. Now, let me just see whether I will be able to scroll this thing. So for checking that, what I can do is like here the second last option. No, I can just click and I can try to scroll this thing. Yes, I'm able to scroll this thing also. So all these things we had basically done. So everything is ready. Everything is very proper. Okay. So what is pending here is for implementing the navigation. We can try implementing the navigation also. So for implementing navigation, as you are basically first timers, I will be giving you uh, a help file kind of. I will be sharing that file also. So I'll be sharing that in my PPT itself. So in the PPT, I had included some code over here. Okay, same code I'll be utilizing. Not the same code, a similar code I'll be utilizing for implementing the navigation. Right. So first of all, how many screens we have to create? We need to create two screens. One is this home screen, which already I had done. One more screen I have to create, that is the settings screen, that is yet to be created. Right. So what I have to do over here is, what I have to do over here is the home screen itself. I will try to include itself inside another file, because as of now you can see like this file is huge. It became huge. So what I will do over here is, let me create another file. Uh, Maybe the file's name can be home screen, right? And inside the home screen file, no, I can just cut paste this entire function, main content function. It's a huge function, main content function. I'm just cutting it from here. I'm going to paste it here. And along with that, I'm also going to change the function's name just by selecting refactor. I'm going to rename it as home screen. Okay, so still it is working fine. Why? Because everywhere it has got renamed, because I selected refactor, right? Now what I have to do is I need to create another screen. So for that I can again create a file. The file name can be setting screen, right? The file name can be setting screen. And here inside this, I will just create a blank function as of now. Settings screen. One blank function I will just create. And also I'll be annotating it as composable. Okay. Now what I have to do is I need to implement navigation in my particular application. Remaining everything I had basically completed. Okay. That is setting screen. Setting screen UI is pending. As of now, maybe simple text compose tool I can just give just for checking this thing. I'll just type in this is the settings screen. That's it. Okay. So what is now pending is like whenever I am clicking on home, the home screen has to load, and whenever I am clicking on settings screen, another screen should be loading where just a text will be there which will be saying this is the settings screen. Okay. So in order to implement that, what I have to do is I have to refer to this code. Okay, this code I am just giving it to you for your reference. That is, whenever you are implementing such navigations in your application, basically this will be a head start for you. Okay, first I will just copy paste this thing just like you are going to do, and afterwards I'll be explaining each and everything. So first of all, the first part of the code I have just copy pasted. So here, what I have basically done is like here we have utilized a concept known as enum classes. See, already I told you, like basically classes we are not going to touch like in a good manner. Why? Because we are not having that much time. Anyway, at this stage, a small bit of know-how on the classes are necessary. So here what we are actually using is something known as enum classes. Enum class is something that is useful if we need to take some static kind of names, like if I need to give names for my screen or something. For example, over here two screens were there, no? So first of all, I had created the first of all I had created an enum class known as my resume app screen. This was the name of the enum class. Okay, which is having a parameter known as title. It can be the name of the screen. Maybe name itself you can give name of the screen. Okay. And afterwards, okay, I cannot give it as name itself, it seems. Title itself, I will give. Okay. Now afterwards, what I can do it over here is inside this one, no? Inside this one, I can give my screen names. For example, home is one of the screen name, right? So I will just type in home. And it is showing some error. Let me see what is it. Okay, it is asking for a default constructor, things like that. What is this default constructor means? Inside this one, no, I need to give this title. That's all. Okay, a value for title. So value for the home can be home itself, right? And next one can be settings. And value for comma is missing. And value for this settings can be settings itself. Okay, so both these things I have given. Now that part is over. So as of now, I have just defined two screen names. That's it. So next, what I have to do over here is the second line of code. No, I have to get something known as navigation controller. So I'm just copy pasting that code over here, and you will be able to observe certain errors. That is just because this thing, as of now, this is not present at all. Okay, this now host controller, remember now controller, things like that, that is not part of your standard code. So how to fix this error means we can go through the usual route, like whatever Android Studio is telling to us, we can just go ahead with that. But before understanding that one, no, before going with that one, I'll just open one other file and show to you. Here in this list, we can open a file known as build.gradle. So in this file, you can see like all these libraries, whatever is used, it's actually already present. Okay. Here you can see like the maximum line number over here is 68. Afterwards, curly bracket is ending. Say I am first going with Android Studio's suggestion. Afterwards, you can see like now the line, one more line got added over here. And what happened over here was one more library got added. That is the navigation library. So here you can see like it is downloading something in order to make the navigation to happen. So now I think that process has completed. Okay. Here again, one more thing is missing. So I will just click on that one also. Here you can see like one more thing got added. navigation runtime KTX, navigation compose, both these things got added, and now everything is ready. Okay, so that line is fine now. Now, once both of these things are done, we can actually do the very last thing, whatever is present over here. So what we have to do over here is, instead of calling this content directly, we can call the now host, whatever we just created now. Okay. Here again, many errors will be there. You just need to go for importing things. That's it. Okay. So whenever you are importing things, likewise things will be shown. So always go for the composable kind of thing. Here something is written composable. You just have to select that one. That's it. Here even padding is showing some error. Just import this thing. It will be fixed. Padding values. Instead of that, here I have given another name only, content padding, that I can use. Composable, that also I have to import. And yes, that's it. Everything is done. Home screen. Inside home screen, something is missing. Okay. So inside home screen, where was the home screen? Home screen was present inside, yeah, this file, no? So inside home screen, this padding values were defined. This is unnecessary now. I will just delete that one. Yeah, everything got fixed. Now, yeah, everything is fixed as of now. But here you can see nothing is coming. Okay, errors, everything gone. But as of now, nothing is coming over here. So first of all, over here, whatever we copy pasted, no, in that actually only one composable was defined. Only one route, one navigation route only was defined. That is for the home button arrow. You can see it over here. So same like that. This code, no, we will copy paste and we will make this code for the settings button also, right? So this thing can be made for the settings button also, and we have to ensure that whenever that route is called settings screen, it need to land in the settings screen. Okay, so up to this much I have done. It is showing some error. Okay, here some padding values were used. You can just delete this thing as it is, not to get rid of the error. Okay, so all the errors got disappeared. You can see, like, yes, well and good, everything is coming very properly. Now oh, it is out of date. I'll just try to run this one more time. Yeah, now everything is coming very properly. But one more thing is actually pending. If I'm running this thing, just see, if I'm clicking on settings or something, nothing is going to happen. Okay, navigation is still not working. In order to properly check this thing, no, I will just check it in my virtual device itself. Let me start that thing. It will take some time. So now itself, I will just load that virtual device, and along with that, I will just see the remaining code also. Remaining code, one more thing was pending. You can see it over here. This thing I hadn't copy pasted anywhere. Okay, this thing I hadn't copy pasted anywhere. So where I need to copy paste, that one is where those buttons are actually defined. Two buttons are there, right? One button for the home button, one button for the home, and second one for the settings. Okay. So first of all, inside this row, for the first column was for the first button. So inside this modifier, we can make this button clickable. So I will just use this clickable parameter, and inside this clickable parameter, I can just use this line of code. Okay, it is showing some error. Why? Because now control tree is not available here. So in order to make that available here, I can just define a parameter named now controller, and wherever that thing is called, no, I can just pass in this now controller to this one. Okay, so now you can see that error got disappeared. Yes, error got disappeared. And we can see like for the first one, no, first one home we can give. Okay, so everything is fine. And for the second button, same like that. I'll just give settings now. Okay, so I think everything we have done. So probably it has to work. So let me check whether it will work fine or something. Just let me refresh one more thing. Some unsupported change were there. Okay, let me refresh that one more time and just see whether it is working fine. Okay, installation is successful. It came. Okay, is it scrollable? Yeah, it is still scrollable. Looks good. Okay, home button, settings. Yes. So when I clicked on the settings button, you can see like the navigation is basically implemented and it is going to the second screen. Okay, let me just do one more thing over here. You might have seen like pop-ups, no, whatever is coming. Like whenever you are clicking on a particular button, usually you will see such a message, no, that message is known as a toast. Let me just tell to you how to implement a toast also, because we have got 10-15 minutes more. So for creating a toast, what we can do is like here inside that clickable this thing, no, what was it? Bottom content column, inside that clickable modifier. Yeah, here we can just type in toast. Okay, so whenever you just typed in toast, automatically it wrote this much line of code. Okay, so what you need to do, whatever remaining thing is pending is like for this inside this string. Here you can see like it is expecting a string. You just need to give a string that should be displayed on the screen whenever that button is actually displayed. Whenever that button is clicked, I can just give like home button was clicked. Okay, and here one more thing is pending. Like you can see like context is actually required. So in order to get the context anywhere in Jetpack Compose, no, we can actually create a variable val context. I use val why, because it is not something that is not going to change. Local context dot current. This is how you will be getting context, and that context, no, we can pass it over here. Okay, so similar toast we can give it for the next one also, right? This one also. So here I can just tell like settings button was. I have to check whether it is working fine or not. Yeah. Okay. Now let me check settings. Yes. See, it is displaying. Oh, it is just displaying for a very short time. So this length I can adjust. Length be long. So same like that here also. I can increase the length. And I copy paste it, no? Additional things actually came. I can again refresh this thing once more. Yeah. So let me check. Yes, it is just showing settings button was clicked. And if I am clicking over here, it will be showing to me home button was clicked. Everything is working very properly. So we have in fact built an application in which multiple screens are there, multiple buttons are there, navigation is there, uh, like the lazy, I mean scrollable kinds of things are there. Data is there. Data is, as of now, the data is just stored inside a simple list. What was that? The home screen, no? Yeah. So here is the data. So likewise, several things we have already implemented. So basically, some part of our app it's already over. So next in the next class, no, we will try to implement some settings over here. Okay. So as of now, I'll be winding up here. I'll be happy to answer any questions from anyone maybe this maybe that is related to this part whatever we have studied today, or if you are experiencing some errors in your side, I will try to fix that also because we are having some time in hand. So whatever it is, you can just,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, in the resume, I couldn't see my name. Means if whatever name we have given, I couldn't see it.
Yes, I understand. So the problem was like here you had created a new file, right? This myresumeapp.kt, this new file you had created. Why you are unable to see the name? Your name was just due to the fact like in the preview function, right? This my resume preview, this function here already Android will be there. So that you have to edit in order to make sure that your name will be displayed. If your this thing is open, no, you can just check it over there where you whether you have edited it or not. Probably that should be the error because another student faced the same error today. So I had told her like this might be the issue and it got corrected from her side. Can you just check now itself?
Sir, in the previous code that you sent, could you please show me that area where it was, we write the name? Could you scroll to that point?
Actually, the thing is like I modified everything
Yeah,
directly.
that was I think the problem because sir, in there I think it was fix max width or something, and when you change it, there's the content color. I think that's the one that becomes into an error.
Okay, Shabri, if you see, if you can share your screen, no, your code. If you can show your code, I can help you with that one. If that is possible, if that is open as of now.
Sir, it's on my laptop, but I'm attending
Oh, got
class,
it again.
so that's the
Okay, okay.
problem.
Yeah, yeah, got it, good. Then you can do one thing after this one, no? After the class, whenever you are getting time, just click me a screenshot of that particular point and send that to me. So
Okay, sir.
probably it will be in that preview function. You can check for that preview function part, that at the rate of preview. So there you just check whether your name is given or is it Android itself. What is displayed as of now?
Sir, you can see my resume. Then there's a photo. It's border, the gray border, but I cannot see the name.
Your name is missing, like in the right side. In the
Yes,
right side,
yes,
name is missing.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. One second, one second, one second. Yeah. So that was actually an error. Yesterday, no, we hadn't fixed that error. That was the problem. One second. I will just show that. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yesterday, actually, that error was there. When I started with this project, no, today, at that time, actually, I fixed that error. How I fixed that error was like there was some this content padding parameter. One more additional thing I had actually given. So I will share the recording of today's class. Just check the initial 15 minutes or something. At that time, you will be able to understand. One more additional content padding parameter I had given, and this thing was given as the inside this modifier dot padding. This is the thing that is used for fixing that error. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, for padding, we always have to put like padding values is equal to padding values, or it's just for that, to just get rid of that error. That was a bit confusing.
Yeah, this part only, no? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I had actually done was like, see, if at all I am removing this thing, no, it will be showing me an error. Like content padding parameter, it is not used. It is not used. Why? Because inside this content, this one,
Mm.
no, this one is
Mm.
part of an inbuilt function, scaffold. So scaffold, basically, it has got lots of parameters. You can see it over here, lots of parameters are there, in which
Yeah.
among which we are using three of them. Top bar we are using, bottom bar we
Bottom
are
bar and
content.
then the content bar.
Yes. And next to content, you can see like one parameter is also there. See, padding values, one parameter is also present, which is
Yeah.
actually absent for all other things. For others, it is not present.
Oh, oh.
Here, one additional thing is there, padding values. Okay.
So to compensate with that, we have
Yes.
to create that statement so
Correct,
that
correct.
it's used in all other.
Yes,
parameters.
exactly. So over here, we need to inside the content, this thing alone, I need to create a parameter. Let it be any name. See, padding values itself, I can give if you want. So padding values, it can be there. But afterwards, this arrow kind of symbol, it is actually necessary. Okay. Afterwards, inside the padding, if at all I am giving that name as padding values, here also I need to give the name as padding values. That's it. Error will be fixed.
Oh, oh. Sir, is there like any kind of study materials that we can refer to it?
Yes. Yeah, that I was planning to share tomorrow only. But let me just do this thing. G dot def. See, yesterday, last class, I had asked you to refer to this thing, no? Like the developer program. In the very first class, I had told like developer program, you must join, and via that you will be able to gain so many like badges and everything. So same like that. In this one, no, you can just in Google you can just search for Jetpack Compose course. Simply, you can search for Jetpack Compose course, and here from Android itself, basic developer Android website itself, you will be getting multiple courses. You will have to select for the basics with Compose course. This can be a starting point. This is actually a part of our MOOC course also. So here, one by one, you can just start. So whenever you are starting with this course, say here everything is there, each and everything is there, like introduction to Kotlin. I had taken few classes on Kotlin, right? So all those things, it will be repeated here also. Your first program in Kotlin, if you are seeing, it will be similar to, lots of text will be there. They'll be uh, explaining to you how to write your first code. So all these things we had already completed. See, likewise slides were there from my part also. What is this function? See, similar things I had actually explained. So this is your basic study material. So utilizing this one, no, whenever you are doing this, one more additional thing is that this material is prepared by Google itself for Android developers. So due to that, whatever thing you are studying now, that will be the latest one for sure. Okay, this is here you can see like it is last updated on April 2022, because this is the initial part. But if you are going to the final part of this course and everything, maybe Android views and compose this thing. How I will be, yeah. Here it will be a bit more newer. See, here you can see February 2023. It is last updated. Likewise, new technologies, whatever is coming, they will be updating here only. And what other people will be doing is they will be actually be including all such things in their courses by taking content from here only. They will be creating content from here only. In fact, actually, I had told like we at Indian we are running our own course like Indian Jetpack, Compose course. If you are searching for that one, uh, if you are searching for that one, even this course, no, this is actually developed utilizing all such materials, but this one is much more on the easier side. That's all. So here you can see like all these things, like Kotlin bootcamp, whatever we started with, no, that was there. Then Kotlin and Jetpack Compose, the basic things, it was actually started. Then afterwards again, it is much more descriptive. That's it. Remaining all the content that is actually aligned with your actual Android Jetpack Compose actual Google's course itself. So better to refer to that one itself. If you need, I can share that link also in the chat box.